Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, man, you know this doesn't work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. And I, I had the exterminator over. They came through and they started spraying for all of these freaking giant cockroaches that have been running around my house and stuff. I can't seem to get away from these damn things, man. In fact, I just had one that Skyped me in, and I'd like to introduce because come 17 days from now, we'll be playing the New York Stinking Giants, and my man, Bad Dog. Bad Dog, how you doing today, man?
I'm doing good, Mark, man. I really appreciate you having me on the channel. It's good to work with you for the first time. Hope we can make it, a more common thing. And, Cowboys, Giants, baby, like I said, 17 days away. I'm so ready for football.
I can't believe it, man. I actually got this clock that's down here at 226 days. And people were killing me like, oh my God, that's so far away. But it's just like the last 100 days have just been flying by. And it's almost like, are we ready for this and things? And I've been paying attention to my Cowboys because, we're just drama filled. And haven't really kept up too much with your Giants other than I did meet Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
At an autograph signing a few months ago. He was scared of Joe Boo. Just put that out there.
Who wouldn't be?
He looked up like, "What the?"
I would too if I saw that thing. It's scare me right now.
It's all good. It's all good. He's been banned from the Giants training facilities. I'll admit that, but it's all good. At least if you're a Cowboy fan. So, how you feel about your Giants team? I'm going to start this by saying that I think your Giants actually did the smart thing, and it looked like they realized it's time to rebuild.
Yeah, I was going to ask if you could put Joe Boo like in Odell Beckham's locker or something.
Oh my God!
I,
that was the smartest move you guys ever made was letting him go. He's a freaking
I
idiot.
agree. I agree. I actually made a video 2 years ago talking about how we should trade Odell Beckham because I just felt like you can't put that much money into a wide receiver when your team really isn't that good. The Giants have done a good job and are going in the right direction, in my opinion. By drafting all these guys, by trading Odell Beckham and pretty much picking up Jabril Peppers, O'Shane Zeminis, and Dexter Lawrence. We got three really good, young, talented prospects there. And, it's going to take some time for these kids to get acclimated to the NFL and get some experience. We have a very young secondary. We have a very young front seven. Daniel Jones has been better than anybody could have imagined the first two games. He's 16 out of 19 for 228 and 2 touchdowns. Now, he does have a couple fumbles, but that's easily fixed. His mechanics, his ball placement, his progressions, it's been unbelievable. He hasn't played first-string defenses yet, which I'm really hoping tomorrow night that he gets to go against the first-string Bengals defense. Not that the Bengals are very good, but I still want to see him in that situation. And like I said, it's looked good. Obviously, Saquon Barkley is one of the best running backs. I'm biased, so I'm going to say he is the best running back in the league.
Well, he's the best one that's practicing at least right now.
Yeah,
I'll say that much. Okay.
And the one thing I love that we did, Mark, and you know this, I'm sure, our offensive line now is pretty solid. We got Solder, Will Hernandez, John Jalapeno, picked up Kevin Zeitler in the trade for Olivier Vernon, which I think was the best offseason move we made, and we added Mike Remmers, the right tackle. And the offensive line, again, it's against second-string defenses in the preseason, but the O-line is looking amazing.
It's funny because the Redskins are banking their team on the human turnstile there. Oh, Lordy.
I said, don't play Haskins with that guy there.
Oh, my God. I'm watching the first Redskin preseason game, and it's just like holding. He let the guy go, and he held at the same time. It's like, if you're going to at least mess up, if you're going to hold, at least hold and make sure the guy doesn't get past you. You held, you got the flag, and you gave up the sack. I mean, it's just like, wow. So, this is what I said going into last season. I've got my friend, we call him the stinking New York Giant fan, Rashid. He's a diehard fan. And I was like, listen, what your team needs to realize is ever since the Super Bowl years, it just seems like you kept trying to reload and you're figuring we're still real close and you just keep trying to add people to it. And that's what the Cowboys did from the 90s was you just kept adding piece after piece and reaching for this guy and that guy. And you're never, ever going to get ready to really challenge. You have to get that young group of guys, to me, let them grow together and learn together and have a window And then once they get old, unless you're New England, you're gonna have to start over. And see, the Redskins are still at that point where they keep grabbing, quarterback here, Alex Smith and Case Keenum, and we'll go ahead and take Collins and all this. And the Redskins are never going to win trying to do that. You've got to build through that draft.
Oh, Landon Collins, thank God he was out of here. $84 million for a box safety
Oh,
that couldn't cover me in a phone booth. That was one of the worst signings. I can't wait for Evan Ingram to tear him up. Landon
hmm
Collins is the most overrated safety I've ever seen in my life. The guy did not have a sack or an interception last year, and he made the Pro Bowl. How is that even possible? $14
reputation.
million a year for Landon Collins is ridiculous. And
Yeah.
you talk about them not building correctly. That's what Jerry Reese did here for years. We spent all that money on Olivier Vernon,
hmm
on Snacks Harrison, on Janoris Jenkins. That worked for a year, and then it fell apart. You cannot build through free
Oh, wait,
agency.
wait. What year was 2016? Yeah. That's when I had a lot. I used to have a lot of Giant fans that used to watch my channel,
Mhm.
and that was 2016. In fact, through that summer, I had so many Giant fans because I think you guys were Super Bowl favorite then, weren't you?
I know
Going into
we were
going into
definitely
20.
up there. We
Yeah,
were definitely up a contender. I mean, we were one of the favorites. Even going into 2017, we
that's
were
what I
too,
mean.
and it just fell apart.
2017, you were. I remember Chris Sims talking about. That's my Super Bowl team and everything else.
Yep.
But something happened that first week, and what happened that first week?
The first week of what, 2017?
2017. For some reason, they all scattered, and I hadn't seen very
Oh,
many of those Giant fans since the beginning of 2017.
well, that's probably because we haven't beaten you in 2 years.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, all right, okay.
I'm still here, Mark. I still show up.
Yes,
I still
actually, you
punch
are.
the
That's
clock, baby.
I've had a couple of Giant fans that have kind of come out now. They're getting excited and everything else. And how do you feel going into this game? We've got now Demarcus Lawrence is actually coming off the pup list, and as well as Tyron Crawford. We've got a lot of young guys on that defensive line, but it's going to be festive to say the least.
I'm still curious about the Zeke situation for you guys. Is he going to play week one? If he doesn't play week one, I think we have an outside chance to beat you. If he does, I don't think we're good enough to beat you yet. I think if
Well,
the next time we play you in MetLife Stadium, when our guys have had some experience, I think we're going to give you a lot better game. But
mhm.
without Zeke, I don't know. Like, I think we have a good chance if you don't have him. With him, I think you guys should handle us pretty
Well,
easily.
here's the thing about Zeke. If you actually go back through and look at Zeke's numbers the first couple of games, he actually isn't that effective. Last year, I think he was averaged 3.9 the first game. The year before, it was like 3.7. So you usually don't get a whole lot of Zeke. And the fact that we're 17 days away from the season beginning and you've had no work with the team in training camp, I'm not sure how effective he would be even if he is coming back.
A big reason we beat you guys in 2016 was because we were able to shut him down. The first game he had
hmm
51 yards on 20
Exactly.
carries.
Yeah.
Second game he did really good in the first half, and the second half we completely shut him down. Won that game 10-7.
hmm
But last year, he killed us on the ground. But what I think Zeke does, maybe not so much statistically wise, but because you have that threat back there, it really makes Dak Prescott so much more effective because Dak is one of the
Oh, without
best play
doubt.
action passing quarterbacks in the league,
Oh my God!
and it
Wait, wait,
gives
wait,
him a
wait,
lot
wait,
of.
wait, wait. Did you actually say something positive about Dak Prescott?
I did. I
I
call
think
it like it is,
I
Mark.
think I'm gonna faint because
Mark,
it's funny because outside of Dallas, a few people actually say good things about Dak Prescott. In Dallas, you would think that oh my God, he's Sam Bradford or something.
well, listen, he still stinks. Don't get
Oh,
me wrong, but he's
now
good.
you sound like Philly 500. Okay.
But he is a very good play action pass quarterback. And when you
hmm
get him outside of the pocket where he has the option to run or pass, he's very dangerous.
Yes.
I think without Ezekiel Elliott, that kind of shrinks up a little bit because you don't have to honor the run as well. Your offensive line is still really good.
hmm
But with Zeke there, that's a much bigger threat than anybody else you're going to put back there. So I think it hampers Dak Prescott a little bit more. And I think it would hamper Zeke if Dak wasn't there. I think those guys work very well
Yeah.
hand in hand together. They make each other better.
But what I'm going to say is, I look at my receiving core that this possibly is the best receiving core that he's had.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, Amari Cooper is better than Dez per se when Dez was healthy. But in general, when you look at how Michael Gallup and Dak are actually beginning to get a repertoire together, you get a veteran like Randall Cobb. And don't sleep on Austin, because Austin, if he could stay healthy, has actually been doing some good things at training camp. You may end up having multitude of weapons where even if Zeke's not there, that maybe we can kind of make it through. We'll have to wait and see. I think the fact that we have Kellen Moore, that there's no book out on him. Everybody knows what you know, Scott Linehan was going to do. It was so predictable. You know, Zeke Elliott was going to run the ball on first down almost, you know, 80% of the time. There's a little bit of unpredictability, I think, with Kellen Moore and having some better weapons. And, you know, if you take, say, Russell Wilson had beast mode. And, you know, he gets credit for winning those Super Bowls, but they had that great defense, and they actually did not pass the ball that much. Dak Prescott's got almost 1,000 yards right now more than where Russell Wilson was at this point. But because they lost beast mode, they ended up evolving into a passing offense. Nobody would confuse what the Cowboys have done over the last 5 or 6 years as a passing offense, even with Tony Romo, because it was predicated on the run. Our defense stinks, so let's slow down the game. And I think you're going to see a little bit of an evolution with the offense. I could be wrong, but I think you're going to see it being more like a regular offense than it has been in the past.
Yeah, I think that Michael Gallup could actually have a breakout season for you guys. And I'll be honest, when you guys traded for Amari Cooper, I remember thinking you gave up way too much for him. I'm like, you guys give up a first-round pick for a guy that can't catch the ball, and he's going to be a free agent, you know, in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got there, his hands all of a sudden shored up, and you guys are 7-1 with Amari Cooper there.
Cooper,
and you know, you swept the Eagles. And Amari Cooper had a lot to do with that second game. I mean, he had a huge game. So obviously having that threat for Dak, because that's something he did not have before Cooper was that deep guy.
No, not at all.
And Gallup can also be a deep threat. And you have your Cole Beasley and Randall Cobb if he can stay healthy. Mm-hmm. You know, that guy that can run across the middle. So they do have a very formidable wide receiving core. But like I said, I just feel like Zeke
brings it all together. You're preaching to the choir on that one. I think this whole thing is basically a pissing contest between Zeke and Jerry, and I hope it doesn't derail my season, you know, because I'm sitting here looking at all these pieces. We've got some backup offensive linemen, you know, that could actually play if Zach Martin and Tyron Smith goes. You know, we finally got some weapons on the offense. We finally got a defense, and now here it is, the centerpiece of our freaking offense. You know, I got Jerry talking about I've earned the right to go ahead and make fun of the guy. It's like, oh, Jesus Christ.
I don't understand what Ezekiel Elliott's doing. He has no leverage. He's got this isn't his final year in his contract. He's got 2 years, and then you can franchise him.
Actually, he's got 3 years now because he missed the being in training camp by the 3rd. So they own his rights for the next 3 years.
So what is he going to do? Hold out for 3 years and then try to get a contract when you've been out of football for 3 years? It's bad timing. And I'll be honest with you. I think what Jerry Jones is doing with him is correct. Zeke is a great player, but he's holding out right now, which is he's thinking he's bigger than the team. And I like that Jerry Jones is saying nobody's bigger than no one player's bigger than the team. We can win without you. And he has had off-the-field problems every single year, although they may be minor infractions and nothing really serious. It's only a matter of time before when does he do something serious. And do you want to give this guy 5 years, $80 million, $90 million, and have him do something stupid where he's suspended for a year? You know,
let's be honest with that. You don't want to put 5 years onto. I mean, look at running backs. 4th year is generally speaking when they start to tail off. Okay, so you know we're going into the 4th year. You know they're going to run the hell out of him. That's why personally I said the best thing to do would be to extend him now, add 2 more years onto his deal. You know, bump him up a little bit and give yourself a wiggle room to let him go. And other people will say, oh well, no, just make him play on those 2 years and then no. You don't want to wait till he's 27, 28 years old to pay a running back.
Yeah, definitely not.
They're going to be worn out, you know?
Yep.
They literally will hit the wall. And so, yeah, and I understand his point of view of, you know, you're not going to run me in the ground and then not pay me and let me go like you did to Marco Murray. So
right.
It's kind of screwy because, you know, here it is. You look at a guy like Landon Collins who's getting $9 million, you know, this year, and you got Zeke that's getting 3.8. You know, or Tyrone Crawford. And when you look at the grand scheme of things of who's more important, you got to say Zeke is one of the most important pieces on that team. And definitely. I could kind of look at that and say, you know, damn, I'm getting chump change compared to all these other people.
Yeah,
But
I mean, I get it because, like you said, his prime is now, and he wants to get paid now. But I think he should have waited till next season to do this. And I mean, I don't know how Le'Veon Bell is going to do with the Jets. I mean, he missed a whole season, and it showed the Steelers. Although James Conner's a different kind of running back, James Conner had a very nice season.
Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell's not going to be able to run behind that Jets offensive line like he could with the Steelers offensive line. He was very patient, let the holes open up, and then he went. The Jets offensive line is not like that. So the Jets gave him 4 years, $52 million. He's been out of football for a season. I don't think he'll be as effective with the Jets.
I don't think so. He'll never get that whole contract. And it's kind of like the situation with Antonio Brown. I mean, that dude.
Nut job.
And I remember Cowboy fans, we need to go for that guy. We need to go for Odell. I'm like, no, man. I said about Odell years ago that he's like a team killer. You get the wow effect. And I always think of the catch, no catch. I was at that game in New York for that game. And I may go to the Giant game in New York this year. I'm thinking about tailgating up there again. I don't know. Are you going to go to that?
I'm going to the Giants-Jets, so I won't be at the Cowboys-Giants.
Oh, okay. Thinking about trying to do that one. But I remember that catch. It was unbelievable. Boom. Jumps up, grabs it, comes down with it, and then he gets hurt in the game and they lose the team. And that sums up his whole career. You see all these magnificent plays, but then you see him the Josh Norman plays, or you see him have the meltdown, in the playoffs and stuff at Green Bay.
The field goal net.
Oh my God, that whole thing, and then playing it up every freaking week, marrying the damn net. Or you finally make the playoffs and you hop a jet and you go to Miami.
Yep.
It's just like, I don't want that guy. That guy is not a team player. It's all about me. And you can see every freaking week he's going back about the Giants. I think he really misses being in New York.
He does. He absolutely does. He will not shut up about the Giants. He can't help himself. He said that they sent him to Cleveland to die. I'm like, Cleveland's doing well. Cleveland's on the upswing.
But here's the thing: if you're the Cleveland Browns, it's like, wait a minute, what the, we like it here. Now you're insulting us.
I said the same thing. He's insulting the Browns. You sent me here to die. Pretty much saying Cleveland's a terrible
Cleveland
city.
Sucks.
You don't need it.
I mean, it may be true, but don't say it.
Exactly.
But don't put it out there like that. But
I think that I said this in one of my videos, and I do believe this to be true. I think that Antonio Brown and Odell Beckham need a girls' night out together. I think they do. I think they need a girls' night out together. Watch some Lifetime movies, paint each other's nails, and do whatever else girls do. Cry on each other's shoulders. Antonio Brown can cry on Odell's shoulder about the helmet, and Odell can cry on Antonio Brown's shoulder about the Giants. And maybe they can get it all out of their system, Mark, and maybe it'll be better. But they're both nuts.
Well, I would like to get Jerry Jones and Zeke Elliott in a room together and say, listen, you guys aren't coming out this room till we get a deal done. Just get this thing done, okay, to save my season. Yeah. So I've appreciated you being on. I want you to tell all of my Cowboy fans here where to find you so they can come troll you. All
right. You guys can come troll me. My channel name is MrBadDog7676, all one word, MrBadDog7676. If you want to find me, you can just type in MrBadDog7676 Daniel Jones.
Okay. All right. I got that.
Yeah, that reaction went viral. I was not happy that night. Done a complete 180. I love Daniel Jones. I love him. I loved him a week after the draft because I actually went back and watched film on him, and I completely changed my attitude on Daniel Jones.
But, that was how it was with Leighton Vander Esch. We actually drove all the way down to the draft. We had a draft tailgate there and stuff. And when he was picked, everybody was like, oh, fuck, oh, shit, oh. Everybody packed up and went home. And you look at that now, it's like, okay, yeah, that was a pretty good pick. So
he's awesome.
Like, you just never know what's going to happen. I mean, it's still kind of early. Don't put him in Canton just yet.
Oh, we're not doing that yet.
Like they've done with Carson Wentz.
Yep.
Okay. Because Carson Wentz.
I know all about that fan base, Mark.
Oh my God. I tell you what. I don't know about.
I love you, Philly.
Oh my God. Okay. But I got to tell you though, the love they have for Carson Wentz, for a guy that I know he was playing really good with that fourth-place schedule, in 2017. But he still, to me, has not had a game-defining win yet.
If he did, it was probably, even though he got hurt in that game, it was probably against the Rams when he scored the touchdown with the torn ACL. I think that may have been his game. But
well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, we will.
All right. Well, we're going to wrap this one up, and we are definitely got a lot to talk about with my man here because we're going to be playing first week of the season, and it's only 17 weeks away. 17 days away. So thank you again, my man. I'll be definitely over there trolling you and stuff, and we're going to be building this thing up. I'm Mark Holmes with the Cockroaches.
Thanks, Mark, man. I really appreciate it. Cowboys fans, good luck to you this season, and we'll see you week 1, baby. Bad dog, I'm gone.
He's gone.
Peace.
I'll see you guys.